Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 26.5. Most likely the last big update to iOS 26 before we move on to the new iOS 27. Even though it's a 0.5 update, it's actually not that big when it comes to new features and changes. But it's coming out really soon, so in today's video, I will show you guys everything you need to know about this update before it gets released. Another thing you need to know is that most of you guys that watch my videos are currently not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more of them, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. Now first off, let's talk about the release date. Now we're currently on the 4th beta, and if history is any indicator, a 0.5 update usually has only 4 betas, and this year most likely will be the same, with the RC actually coming most likely early next week. So I'm predicting that May the 4th will most likely be the day that Apple releases the RC of iOS 26.5, and that's actually the last update that gets out to the devs and public testers before Apple moves on and releases iOS 26.5 to the public, which in my opinion will be May the 11th. Usually Apple does release bigger updates on Monday or a Tuesday, so either the 11th or the 12th of May will be the dates when Apple releases iOS 26.5 to the public. Now the next thing you need to know is the size of the update. Of course, when it's out, you want to have enough free storage so you will be able to update your device. And it should be around 8 gigabytes. Now this is the first beta of iOS 26.5. It was around 8 gigabytes, even though the later betas actually have been even bigger in size. I don't know what's happening with iOS 26, but since beta 1 of iOS 26, it has always been like huge updates. I don't know why. It just shows like huge numbers, but when you try to download it, it downloads really fast. So I don't know what's happening here, but expect it to be around 8 gigabytes. So I suggest that you have at least like 14 to 15 free gigabytes of storage on your iPhone before you try to update your iPhone to the new iOS 26.5. Now, updating, of course, will be very simple for most users. All you have to do is go to the general settings, go to software update, and right here we'll find the update for iOS 26.5. But if you're on the betas of iOS 26.5, then you will have two different scenarios. Now, if you're on the betas of iOS 26.5, and if you're on the latest beta 4, then it means that you will most likely get the RC next. Once you update to the RC, then you're good to go. You don't get the public release because you already have the exact same update. But a lot of people prefer to not install the RC and move on to the public release. If you want to do that, then all you have to do before the RC gets out and you install it on your device, you just go to the beta updates right here and turn them off. That way you no longer get the betas, meaning that you don't get the RC on your device. You just get the public release once it's out, and that way you can go ahead and update your device to the new iOS 26.5 public release. But again, it is the exact same update, so I don't think there's any reason for you not to update to the RC and wait for the public release. Now, as far as features go, well, there is not a lot actually. I have done a video where I talk about all the new changes on iOS 26.5. I will leave it linked on the card right there, but just know that there is no new Siri. Now, we have actually been expecting for this new version of Siri to come out even last year with 18.5. It didn't happen with 18.5, and it's not happening with 26.5. It looks like hopefully that will come with the new iOS 27. So there are not a lot of new features and changes, just some small ones. We're expecting a new wallpaper also to be out once this update is out to the public, and no new Siri. Don't expect to get the new Siri features with iOS 26.5. Now the performance has been quite good. You can see this is the best score that I got, even though it's slightly lower than iOS 26.4. It's not something that you will notice on like everyday use. There have been a few bugs here and there, like some drop on the frames, especially the one where you would unlock your device and it would drop the frames. That was really frustrating, but it has been fixed now. And otherwise, the performance is actually quite good and very smooth, and everything works really fast. And you can see the score right there is quite high, so there is no problem on installing this update on your device. When it comes to performance, everything is actually super smooth. But what about battery life, which is of course also very important when it comes to new updates? Well, we can take a look here. You can see 100% battery usage, 7 hours 12 minutes. Again, almost 9 hours here with 100% battery usage. Right here you can see 79% battery usage, 6 hours 22 minutes. Right here 5.5 hours with 42%, and then right here over 10 hours with 107% of battery usage. It's okay, it is good, but not as good as iOS 26.4. In my experience using iOS 26 on my device here, the best battery life that I've got has been iOS 26.4. And I can say until now, because we have, of course, a few more days to go and a couple of updates to be released, but until now, iOS 26.5 should be at around 5 to 6% lower on battery life comparing it to iOS 26.4. So should you update or not to the new iOS 26.5? Well, the update is quite good. Besides the battery life, which we'll have to actually keep an eye on and see how it will progress with the RC release and then the public release. Otherwise, the update is great. Again, there are not a ton of new features, just a few some smaller changes, but you should actually update. In my opinion, it has a ton of fixes in the background that are really important for your device, even though it doesn't bring new features. And especially if you're not planning to update to the new iOS 27 beta, then just go ahead and update to iOS 26.5, because you will have a long time to wait until iOS 27 is out to the public. And this most likely, as I said, will be the last big update. There should be another 26.6 maybe during the summer, but that should also be a very small update. Most likely will be even smaller than this one with no new features or changes. So yes, in my opinion, you should go ahead and update your device to the new iOS 26.5. So what's next for iOS? Well, as we talked about, this update most likely coming out to the public around May 11th or May the 12th. Then we will have the first beta of iOS 27. That should be right here on June the 8th. In the meantime, most likely a smaller updates like 26.5.1 will be released. And of course, during the summer, we should have also a new update for iOS 26.6, which most likely will go on beta towards the end of May. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, smash that like button and of course subscribe for more videos. I'll see you on the next one.